Hey everybody, what's up? Aaron here, Question Period Canada. We've got a hot story for you. Greg Fergus, who we've been covering here since he started, it's only been 2 months, but the consequences of the decision to have him as Speaker of the House have certainly been felt on this channel, that's for sure. But now he's got himself in hot water because of a controversial decision he made on the weekend. Andrew Scheer, who used to be the House Speaker, is calling for his resignation. Let's take a peek at why Andrew's calling for Greg Fergus to resign.
It was a videotaped address that was played at a Liberal convention. So it wasn't just at a small gathering of friends. It was played in front of perhaps hundreds of Liberal partisan volunteers and activists. It wasn't just a congratulatory message. It was a message that was full of reminiscing about working in Liberal Party politics, including on the campaign of former Liberal Premier of Ontario, Dalton McGuinty. So, you know, that's, and by the way, we don't have any proof that is how the invitation was presented to the Speaker. And so when we saw the Speaker in his official robes, in his official office, delivering partisan remarks at a partisan activity at a convention, this just set off all kinds of alarm bells. And the disappointing thing is that Mr. Fergus didn't think about those things before he decided to participate in the Liberal convention.
It's only been about 2 months since Greg was elected to the position of House Speaker. Many people said that Trudeau put him in the chair, but he was elected to that position. We noticed right away, though, him trying to introduce his new form of decorum to the House, it just didn't fit or belong. He was rejected by both sides. We covered that in other stories. You can check them out. Let's hear some more from Andrew Scheer about why Fergus needs to resign.
You know, at this point, all we have is his own statement on that. We don't have anything else to corroborate that or to substantiate his assertion. And again, you know, he didn't just, you know, wasn't just wearing a sweater in his own living room or in his own kitchen. He was in his parliamentary office, in his Speaker's office, and that has a very symbolic importance. The office that he holds, the office that he occupies when he's working, the robes he wears, are all symbols of a very important part of our parliamentary institution. That part, the Speaker's part, only works if members have trust that he or she is non-partisan and impartial. And the reason for that is because we must accept the Speaker's rulings, even if we disagree with them, even if we believe that there's an error been made in arriving at a decision. We trust the Speaker to be non-partisan and impartial, and in return, we accept his rulings. That only works if the Speaker goes above and beyond avoiding any involvement with partisan activities at all. That didn't happen this weekend. So now there are important decisions before the House. One on the government's ability to bring in their budget bill. We've had a number of questions of privilege and points of order raised in the last few days, and for members of any party to be able to accept the ruling, if it happens to go against them, it's going to be all the more difficult knowing that the Speaker just participated in a very partisan activity this weekend.
Some people are saying that Greg shouldn't have to retire because the speech he gave was to a provincial Liberal group and to his friend, anniversary or birthday or something. Andrew Scheer thinks that he still has to go. Let's check that out.
If it was that he had this long-standing, if it was in his own province, or if he decided to do it as a private individual, you know, he might have a different case to make to the House. But if we try to think of some other analogies of other institutions that depend on impartiality. If we think about an NHL referee, can you imagine what would happen if an NHL referee was videoed giving a pep talk in the dressing room of the Toronto Maple Leafs, wearing his referee's outfit? How do you think Montreal Canadian fans or Ottawa Senators fans would react to that? I would put it to you that NHL referee would likely not referee another game, because the players need to be sure that when a penalty is handed out or when a goal is disallowed, that the referee is only looking at the rules and only looking at what actually happened. If a referee breaks that trust or causes grave doubts about the impartiality, then the best thing that can be done to preserve the integrity is for that person to step aside. And that's why what we're saying, Mr. Fergus comes from a very partisan background. He didn't come into the speaker chair through other avenues that other MPs have done when they served some time as a deputy speaker or as a committee chair, and they kind of, adopt a bit more of a non-partisan presence in the chamber for a number of years. He was the former president of the Liberal Party. He was the Prime Minister's personal parliamentary secretary in the House. One of his early interventions in the chamber was defending Justin Trudeau, and Justin Trudeau elbowed a female member of parliament in the chest, Ruth Ellen Brousseau. Mr. Fergus got to his feet very quickly and defended the Prime Minister and actually accused that NDP member of parliament of exaggerating the injuries. He's been caught up in his own ethics issues, and he was helping the government actively defend the Prime Minister scandals very recently. So he came into the Speaker's role with that very, very partisan history in the very near past, and so that would have required an even higher attention to detail to avoid any semblance of partisanship, and that's why this is really such a serious situation that the House is now in.
Yeah, you could tell on Greg's first day when he was the new Speaker of the House, he just didn't fit in that role. He disrupts the flow of question period. None of the politicians either side appreciate it. You can tell that he's just doing somebody else's bidding he doesn't want to be doing, but he doesn't fit the role. We'll be glad to have him gone. We've had stories, we've covered how bad the Speaker of the House has been. It's been terrible. Please check out one of those videos, they're interesting. Andrew Scheer's not finished yet. Let's hear what else he has to say.
A motion that, if the Speaker grants it, would have the House send the matter to the Procedure and House Affairs Committee. That way the committee can get to the bottom, it can look at the Speaker's statements and evaluate the statements itself and try to get to the bottom of what actually happened, and then can recommend a course of action to the House. So our position going into that, if that does pan out, if there are actually some committee meetings on this, will be that the Speaker should resign, and we'll make that case to other members of Parliament.
So Andrew Scheer says new Mr. Speaker, Greg Fergus, has to go. What do you think? I'll be glad to see him gone just to see the flow of question period return. It's been tough having him around. Yes, so I'm Aaron. This is Question Period Canada. We have fun here with Canadian politics as we're learning all about the system and how did we get here? What's next? That's it. Like and subscribe, share with a friend. We'll be back tomorrow with more videos. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.